School taught you how to get a job. It did not teach you what to do with the money the job produces. It did not teach you the difference between income and wealth. It did not teach you why two people earning identical salaries can arrive at 40 in completely different financial positions. It did not teach you the rules, the specific, unglamorous, non-secret principles that govern why money compounds for some people and evaporates for others at the same income level. Those rules were not withheld maliciously. They were simply never part of the curriculum. The curriculum was built to produce employees. Employees who understand these 7 rules become harder to keep in that role, not because they quit dramatically, but because over time, the financial position the rules produce gives them choices. The curriculum was not designed to leave open. Bruce Wayne was not wealthy because he inherited money. He was wealthy because he understood, at a structural level, the difference between money that works and money that sits, and he built every financial decision around maximizing the former. Inheritance without these rules evaporates within a generation. These rules without inheritance build something in 20 years that most people never build in a lifetime. Here is every one. Rule 1: pay yourself first. Before bills, before spending, before any other obligation, a pre-decided portion of every income event moves automatically to a separate account that is not touched for current spending, not what is left after spending. What comes out before spending begins. The distinction is not philosophical, it is mechanical. Spending expands to fill available money. The money that leaves before the spending begins is the only money that consistently survives the month. Every other approach to saving produces the same result. The intention is present, and the money is gone. Automation removes the intention from the equation entirely. Rule 2: assets before upgrades. Every income increase presents a fork. Direct the increase toward assets that generate returns, or direct it toward lifestyle upgrades that feel like the income increase's natural destination. The rich consistently choose assets first, not because they are indifferent to comfort, because they understand that the asset purchased today produces the income that funds the comfort tomorrow, while the lifestyle upgrade purchased today produces nothing but the expectation of the next upgrade. The rule is not austerity, it is sequence. Assets first, everything else from the returns. Rule 3: understand the difference between good debt and bad debt. Debt used to acquire an asset that produces returns greater than the debt's cost is a tool. Debt used to acquire a depreciating item or fund current consumption is a drain. Most people were never taught this distinction. They were taught that debt is either necessary or shameful, and neither frame produces good decisions. The rule is not to avoid debt. It is to ensure that every debt incurred is in service of something that returns more than it costs. The question before any debt decision is not, can I afford the payment? It is, does this debt produce or consume? Rule 4: your income is not your wealth. Wealth is assets minus liabilities. Income is the rate at which money arrives. The two are related but not equivalent, and confusing them is the most expensive financial mistake available. A high income spent completely each month produces zero wealth. A moderate income, where the gap between income and spending is consistently invested, produces significant wealth over time. The rich measure their financial position by net worth, not salary. The habit of calculating and tracking net worth monthly, assets minus liabilities written down once a month, is the single most clarifying financial habit available, and the one most consistently absent in the people who earn well and accumulate nothing. Stay with rules 5 through 7. The first 4 govern how money moves. What comes next governs how money compounds, and Rule 6 is the one that most people understand intellectually, and almost nobody applies consistently enough for it to produce what it is capable of producing. Rule 5: time in the market compounds. Timing the market doesn't. The consistent, automated, uninterrupted investment of a fixed amount into broadly diversified positions across a long time horizon outperforms almost every attempt to find the right moment to enter or exit. Not because the strategy is sophisticated, because consistency removes the human decision-making that is the primary source of underperformance. The wealthy do not time markets. They remove themselves from the timing decision through automation and consistency, and they do not interrupt the compounding for short-term reallocation. Wayne Industries did not grow through constant restructuring. It grew through consistent compounding operation over decades. The same principle governs every investment account that actually builds something. Rule 6: protect the downside before optimizing the upside. Before chasing returns, ensure the base is protected, an emergency fund that covers essential expenses for several months, adequate insurance against the specific risks of the current life stage, and no single point of financial failure that one bad event could trigger. The rich are not wealthier because they took bigger risks. They are wealthier because they took calculated risks from protected positions. And a protected position means that when the bad event arrives, as it does for everyone, it is a setback rather than a collapse. The optimization of returns is only available to people who do not need to liquidate their positions at the worst moment to cover an unprotected emergency. Rule 7. Build one income stream that runs without your direct hourly input. Not passive income in the aspirational content sense. A single, small thing that generates some return without requiring your presence in the specific hour it generates it. A rented asset, a digital product, a small position that pays a return. The amount is initially irrelevant. The structural principle is not. A man with one income stream is one event away from zero. A man with two has a floor. Building the second stream before it is needed, from a position of stability without desperation, with time for it to develop slowly, is categorically different from building it in response to a crisis. Wayne did not diversify Wayne Enterprises under pressure. The diversification was structural, built in advance because the principle was understood before the need was urgent. You came into this expecting secrets. The specific investment vehicle, the specific asset class, the specific insider knowledge that the wealthy possess and the school system withholds. Every rule on this list is publicly available information. None of it is secret. The gap between the people who apply these rules and the people who know them and don't is not intelligence, not access, not luck of birth. It is the daily and weekly behavior of actually applying them, of paying first before the spending starts, of buying the asset before the upgrade, of tracking net worth rather than salary, of leaving the investment alone long enough for the compounding to produce something visible. The school system did not withhold secrets. It withheld the behavior curriculum, the specific daily and weekly financial choices that convert the same income into two completely different positions over 10 years. You now have the curriculum. The only remaining variable is whether it changes anything you do this week. Tonight, one thing. Not all 7 rules. 1. The rule that addresses the specific gap in your current financial behavior where the distance between where you are and where these rules would put you is largest. If you have never paid yourself first, set up the automation tonight. If you have never calculated your net worth, do it tonight. Assets minus liabilities, one number, written down. If you have no emergency fund, decide tonight what the target is and what the first automated contribution will be. One rule, one action. Tonight, rather than when the conditions for starting feel more convenient, because those conditions will not arrive. The conditions that exist tonight are the conditions the rule gets installed in. That is the only condition that has ever been available to anyone who actually applied these rules. Wayne's wealth was not built on exceptional circumstances. It was built on rules applied consistently across decades in ordinary circumstances, by a man who understood that the compounding does not require perfect conditions. It requires the decision made in the conditions that exist right now. School taught you how to earn money. Nobody taught you how to keep it, grow it, and make it work while you sleep. These 7 rules are that education. Apply one tonight. Note: this video covers general financial principles and habits only. It is not financial advice. Your specific situation requires your own research and, where appropriate, guidance from a qualified financial professional. One question: which of the 7 rules, name the number, is the one your current financial life is most missing? Drop it in the comments. That number is tonight's one action, not a plan, the action itself. If this was the financial education school never gave you, subscribe. More of this. No guru required.